Hello, I'm RJ Coberly. I'm proud today to be selling a car that we've owned for nearly 38 years, a 64 Corvette, to Hendrick Motorsports. And I'd take this moment to give you a little bit of history about the car and how we got to this point today. My wife Marilyn and I bought the car in March of 1974. It was 10 years old at the time, and I am the third owner. The first owner owned the car 8 years and was an F-105 fighter pilot. One of the more interesting things about his ownership of the car was he took it to Okinawa, Japan when he was stationed over there. He was later asked to fly a combat tours over Vietnam, and he tried to take the car to Thailand. The federal government said, no, that's not a good idea. And the car was put on a ship and pushed through the Panama Canal to his father's home in Massachusetts. Later, he was stationed in Wichita, Kansas at McConnell Air Force Base. We lived in Wichita at the time, and we bought the car from the second owner, who had purchased it from the lieutenant, but the second owner only owned the car 18 months. So now we've owned it for almost 38 years, and I had kept it for all of those years with the idea that I would restore it in my retirement, but interests and abilities to do that in my semi-retirement have changed, and I came to the conclusion that this car is in such original condition and in such good shape. While it does need restored, it is an original car truly worthy of a first-class restoration. As part of my documentation of the car over the years, I learned that the car was purchased new from City Chevrolet. Lieutenant Platt had purchased the car in January of 1964, and as a part of a title search, I ended up with the manufacturer's statement of origin that the car was delivered to City Chevrolet in December of '63, and of course sold by City Chevrolet in January '64. As a result of that connection with City Chevrolet, I decided that possibly Rick Hendrick might be interested in this particular car. I earlier this year was watching the Barrett-Jackson auto auction, and Rick Hendrick and Mike Joy were co-hosting that show, and he actually spoke of the importance of City Chevrolet to his financial dealership network and to his overall success. And I thought, well, I would really like to reunite this car that came from City Chevrolet back to Rick Hendrick.
Pretty cool car,
So
huh?
2 weeks ago
Indeed.
today, as it would turn out, I stopped in at Superior Chevrolet here in Overland Park, Kansas, suburb of Kansas City, and actually asked how I might get in touch with Rick Hendricks to see if there was any interest in the car. As fate would have it, one of Mr. Hendrick's buyers happened to be right there at the dealership on his day off. Robert Wiegers said, I'd be more than glad to help you with that, and as a result, we worked together over the last few days, and we were able to see that a dream of mine is coming true. We are selling the car, and it will be fully restored and will become part of Mr. Hendrick's collection, which is just a dream come true for me, and I think for every car guy out there that has truly enjoyed an old car for many, many years. To see it reach this level of excellence is just a dream come true. And I thank the Hendricks organization and Mr. Hendricks personally for this ability and for the honor to be able to pass this lovely old car on to him. Thank you.
Here today to purchase back a piece of classic history from Superior Chevrolet to Rick Hendrick's City Chevrolet, where this car originally came from. Happened to become involved with this car when RJ came into the dealership strictly to find out if he could get a hold of Mr. Hendrick to sell this classic piece back to his original store and his flagship store. And I was fortunate enough to be there to help with this and pass it on to Mike McGinley, my general manager, as we are highly involved in the Corvette community here in Kansas City and the classic car community, as well as with Hendrick Automotive here at Superior Chevrolet, joint venture, several. And so we were able to pass it off to Mike, and Mike made the contact, and we're here today, 40-some years later, to restore this car and send it back to City Chevrolet to its origin.
I'm Mike McGinley from Superior Chevrolet. When Robert first told me about this '64 Corvette, I thought we're going to have an opportunity to go out and buy another old muscle car, something that we can have on the showroom that we can turn around and sell to somebody else, especially when I found his original matching numbers 365 horse coupe. I thought, wow, and a good color. I saw the pictures, stuff like that. But on the way out to look at the car, I found out it's a little bit of a different story. RJ, through his meticulous research, had found out that this car originally was sold at City Chevrolet, and what his dream was to have the car restored after he retired. I saw, after spending a half hour to 45 minutes, that there wasn't going to be much of a case for me to change his mind and let us sell the car to try to profit from the deal. Otherwise, that's our main purpose of coming out originally. But when I saw what he wanted to get accomplished, when I saw the history of the car, when I saw all the documentation, the letters from the original owner, all the conversation with Bill Musgrave at the time at Hendrick Automotive Group, talking about the car, I realized we need to really do what we can to be part of this and make this come true for RJ. Normally we make people's Corvette dreams come true by selling them a new Corvette or selling them a used one or selling them a classic Corvette. In this case, it was something completely different. So we were able to facilitate it through conversations with Hendrick Performance. Robert and I have been lucky enough that we've been able to go with Rick a couple times to Barrett Jackson. We know Rick's passion for vehicles, especially Corvettes, and we knew that he was kind of sort of looking for vehicles that originally been sold new at City Chevrolet. So he's already got a 67 Z28 Camaro that was sold new at City Chevrolet, which is also a really rare car. And this color combination 64 coupe is another one. So this will be the second one in that portion of his collection for cars that were sold new from City Chevrolet. And RJ, we're just excited that we're able to make this deal happen. And RJ, when the car is all done, we don't know exactly when it will be because Rick's got a lot of projects. He's going to come down and be able to see the car back down there at City Chevrolet. He also gets to do something that's really cool. He's going to take a trip down to the Hendrick Performance Heritage Center, and he's going to be able to walk through Rick's collection of cars, which is absolutely awesome. It's not open to the public. It's by invitation only. And through this transaction, RJ's earned one of those invitations. So we're happy we're able to facilitate. Thank you.
No crying now.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is sentimental.
After 38 years.
As I said, if I was letting this go to just anybody and never seeing it again, I couldn't do this. This car would never leave my home, but it's going to where it deserves to go, and I'm thrilled that it is.